I know my boundaries. I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass. I know
he's knocked out, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends. All this, but I want to fight you.
Jake Paul has openly expressed his desire to face high-level boxers, and now Anthony Joshua has responded through his promoter, Eddie Hearn. Joshua simply said, "I fight him." This statement highlights Joshua's fearless mindset and shows he's not one to shy away from a challenge. While a bout between the two remains unlikely due to the vast difference in experience, Joshua's openness has caught attention. Whether Paul is serious about the matchup or just building hype is uncertain, but one thing is clear from Joshua's reply: he's always prepared.
I want to ask you a question because the world of media went mental this morning. Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul. Please put this to bed or light the fire. What's going on?
I mean, sorry. This is the first time I've spoken about the fight. To be honest, like, I look at it and I think Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. I mean, look, for me, we'll do it for the banter. Do you know what I mean? Like, AJ would fight Jake Paul. He'd fight anyone, to be honest with you. And if Jake Paul wants to step up and fight Anthony Joshua, he'll need the relevant insurance. But, you know, the only thing that was disappointing was he says 2026. I mean, that's like calling someone out. That's like me saying, you know, LA Olympics for the surfing, 2028, I'll be there. Do you know what I mean? Do it in 2025 if you really want to do it. You're not going to get really much better at this stage, but I don't know, those two have spoken. I spoke to AJ this morning. He went, listen, of course, I'd fight. I mean, you know, if the question was asked to Jai, would you fight Jake Paul? And there was...
I wouldn't fight him, I'd bash him.
Yeah. But he might do it. He might just do it for, you know, just for doing it, for the sake of it. But obviously we know, listen, Jake creates massive events, right? You know that's going to create, like, unbelievable viewership, and, no disrespect to Jake Paul, it's a straightforward night's work. But, you know, I like this calling out of Canelo and all this. AJ it's another challenge up there. But, you know, if they're game, why not?
What did he say, AJ, to you about it?
He said, why not? I said, what do you want me to say when I'm asked about it? And he said, tell everyone I'll fight anyone, anytime. It's not a problem for me.
Jake Paul has called out Anthony Joshua, claiming the former heavyweight champ has no chin, no skills, and is too stiff. Paul posted a photo of Joshua on a call with the caption, "Look who called 2026 Anthony Joshua, suggesting a future fight." In response, Joshua shared a screenshot of their call on Instagram shortly after Paul's public challenge. This back and forth sparked fan speculation about a potential matchup. Jake also posted a message from BVFA Sports, stating Joshua was one of 6 names on Paul's fight wish list for 2025 to 2026. While Paul insists he's serious, many fans believe taking on a seasoned heavyweight like Joshua might be too ambitious.
The real deal respond to me as I tweeted my thoughts about delusion, which again, I think is more about what Jake said about Anthony Joshua and what he'll do to him. That was the more delusional aspect. Ana Serrano said, "At Jake Paul is the truth." Funny, they say he's a fraud for wanting easy fights. Then he asked for the toughest fights ever and they say he's nuts. Listen, he was scheduled to fight Canelo Gervonta, and now he's calling out Joshua. Come on, who else is doing this? Oh crap, on second thought, he is out of his freaking mind. You're right. That was more of just Amanda backing her guy, you know what I'm saying? The co-founder of MVP and someone that she really respects. And
adding another twist to Jake Paul's boxing journey, reports indicate he's also lined up for a potential fight against Gervonta Tank Davis, following Davis' recent controversial bout with Lamont Roach. Despite this, Paul remains vocal about wanting to face Anthony Joshua, showing his ambition to challenge top names across multiple weight divisions.
Gervonta Davis, and she's not the only one saying that. Dan Rafael said the same thing earlier that day or maybe yesterday. I can't believe that that's true, or if that was really good. The idea being, had Gervonta Davis beat Lamont Roach, he was going to fight Jake Paul next. And this is why I say, like, it's delusional, but it's possible. Like, he almost had the Canelo fight, and think what you will about how that went down and how realistic that was going to be. I legit think it was probably close to happening. Now you're telling me there were discussions and potentially, you know, signed to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. And again, I do believe the reason for that is Jake's massive size advantage. Again, that's like a 100-pound weight advantage. How would that even...
Following his fight with Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis used the post-fight press conference to call out Jake Paul. This unexpected move adds yet another layer to the growing storyline around Paul's boxing career.
Who were you going to call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
God damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
Jake Paul's bold call-out of Anthony Joshua, a 2-time unified heavyweight champion, has surprised many in the boxing community. With Paul's limited experience in the ring, critics find it remarkable that he would make such confident claims about a fighter of Joshua's stature.
Jake Paul has just called Anthony Joshua out. Yes, Anthony Joshua, AJ, the two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. This brother called this man out. Oh my God. Now, in a recent clip on Jake Paul's podcast, I think, he basically said that he will beat Anthony Joshua's ass and he has no skill, no chin, and he's too stiff for him. He also apologized to Anthony, saying, Anthony, I'm sorry, we're friends, but I know I can beat your ass. This guy is tapped in the head. Again, he almost got a fight with Tank. If Tank beat Lamont Roach when they drew, he would have fought Jake Paul. It was lined up, basically. A lot of people get mad when people say he's the face of boxing. These highly rated boxers want to fight Jake Paul. So, I don't know what to say, honestly. But one thing for sure, AJ will never fight. AJ is too classy for that. Way too classy. He respects the sport of boxing too much to fight this guy. Absolute plonker. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And make sure you follow for the most up-to-date and sharpest boxing news and content.
The boxing community has been quick to react to Jake Paul's comments about Anthony Joshua. Critics were quick to point out Paul's previous loss to Tommy Fury, questioning his credibility in judging a world-class heavyweight like Joshua. One Twitter user summed up the sentiment, saying, YouTube boxer Jake Paul, who lost to Tommy Fury, says heavyweight Anthony Joshua has no chin, no skill, is stiff, and that he would beat him. What is this guy talking about? Despite the backlash, Anthony Joshua has shown openness to the idea. According to his promoter Eddie Hearn, Joshua responded simply, "Listen, I'd fight him." While this shows Joshua's willingness, many in the boxing world see the potential fight as unrealistic due to the clear gap in experience and ability. Some have even labeled the idea delusional, casting doubt on the legitimacy and competitiveness of such a bout.
Well then, it looks like Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul might be in discussions to fight. They were both on a call to each other earlier, and the viral video went round of Jake Paul saying he would knock out Anthony Joshua. If I'm being completely honest, I think Jake Paul would actually be lucky to make it out alive, and I'm actually being dead serious. I think Jake Paul would be lucky to make it out of the ring with Anthony Joshua alive. Tyron Woodley literally had Jake Paul on skates and had Jake Paul panicking for his life. Imagine what Anthony Joshua would do. Look at what Joshua did to the last non-boxer he fought in, Francis Ngannou. That is not going to end well for Jake Paul. But look, let's be real here. This fight should never happen. It's an absolute disgrace to the sport if it does. And yeah, there's got to be a lot of backlash if this actually happens, because it's actually probably worse to the sport of boxing than what Fury in Ngannou was when it came around, or or Mayweather McGregor. It can't happen.
MMA fighter Anthony Smith believes Jake Paul targets legendary fighters to land big paydays. He suggests Paul uses trash talk to spark high-profile fights, often against older or less active opponents, a move criticized by boxing purists.
Legends, older, shorter, smaller, past their prime legends that have spent their entire careers running their bodies into fucking car accidents, and then we hold these guys near and dear to our heart. And then this fuckhead just pulls them out of fucking semi-retirement, and then is
Jake Paul's ambitions extend beyond boxing, as he's also expressed interest in facing MMA star Conor McGregor. Paul claims his boxing skills are improving while suggesting McGregor's abilities are declining with age. This has been met with skepticism, given McGregor's extensive combat sports background. Paul's comments highlight his confidence and strategy of challenging high-profile athletes to boost his own status in combat sport.
McGregor's done.
I think he has to come back and fight, but he needs to win.
Will he fight you?
I don't think he will. I think my skill level is outgrowing his in boxing, and I have the height advantage. He can't beat me, and I think he probably knows that. And time, he's only getting older, and I'm only getting better.
Many fans are excited about the potential fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, believing Joshua would easily dominate and humble Paul in the ring. Paul's habit of calling out elite fighters and claiming superiority has made him a polarizing figure in combat sports. Many view his challenge to Joshua as unrealistic, given the significant gap in experience, skill, and weight class. Nonetheless, the possibility of the fight has sparked massive interest, with some hoping Joshua will silence Paul's bold claims inside the ring.
You have got to be taking the mick. Jake Paul has called out Anthony Joshua and claims, "I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass." You know what? I want this to happen, just so Anthony Joshua could just absolutely decimate this man right here. So first he fights Tommy Fury, a legitimate professional boxer, and he loses. Then he fights an OAP in Mike Tyson and beats him. Obviously, he's nearly 60 years old. Then he goes to try and fight Canelo, which fell through, thankfully. Then he tried to fight Tank Davis, which again fell through. And now he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, a legit world-level heavyweight boxer. Anthony Joshua is someone that I've always looked up to and probably one of my favourite boxers to this day and age. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Jake Paul here and there, but there's just things he does in the sport that I don't agree with at all. And fighting Anthony Joshua, listen, I'm all here for it, just to see him get knocked clean out. The fact that he thinks he can compete with these high-level boxers, even though he lost to Tommy Fury, is just laughable. But how long does it take for Anthony Joshua to knock Jake Paul out? I'm saying 5 seconds.
So, Jake Paul? Yeah, good. Great for boxing. Good luck to him. He's trying. Zero amateur experience. Throwing himself in the deep end. I guarantee you he'll probably learn a lot more than a lot of fighters will that are just half-hearted with it. Man's throwing himself in the deep end, putting himself under pressure. You know, when you can deal with that amount of pressure, you have to get better at it. So yeah, good luck to him. Good luck.
Everyone's been wanting to see it happen. Who will be the king of the United Kingdom? And who will be the queen of the Too soon? I'm praying that boxing doesn't happen to this fight. And what I mean by that is politics. People trying to take more money than they deserve. Fuck the money. Get in there. Make fucking history. This is one of the biggest fights that could happen over this past decade. Make it fucking happen, Eddie Hearn. Make it fucking happen, Frank Warren. Make it happen, Tyson. Make it happen, Anthony Joshua. We don't need fucking excuses. Don't let boxing ruin this fight. Get in the fucking ring and fight like...
What do you make of this YouTube
10 out of 10. I'm telling you, it's good for boxing because it's showing people you can fight someone that is well-known, credible, can fight, marketable, without a championship and have that same effect early on in your career, and you can still get all the rewards anyway. So I think that they're showing guys, oh, hang on a minute, there's so much potential in boxing regardless of championships. And I think it's good because now people start taking more risks early on. These guys coming into the game are changing the landscape for the better, showcasing that if you have a business mind on, marketable, creative, content driven, obviously talented, you can generate big business and do great things.
Who is the most power you've ever felt in a fight?
I would say Tommy Fury. It's the shots you don't see. So Tommy was a little tricky. Mike's punches I could see coming. He was strong, but he didn't land anything clean. So I honestly didn't feel Mike Tyson's full power, but that's good. I mean, you don't want to. So
I feel like he lost confidence second round. Like he stopped giving his all.
He just started surviving.